Well, you were instructed on the importance of writing a true and accurate report, correct?
Correct.
And do you think it's especially important to write a complete and accurate report when the accused man could face years in prison?
Yes, sir.
Are you aware that the district attorney and judges use police reports in order to establish probable cause to file criminal complaints?
Yes.
And judges use police reports to issue search warrants and restraining orders?
Okay, what does this have to do?
646.9 is
Stalking.
stalking statute. And again, do you have any evidence of that?
No.
Criminal threat statute is 422.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any evidence that I made criminal threats?
I do not.
But you have no evidence, isn't that correct, that I did any of the things that Bridges claim I did? Is that true?
Personally, no.
Okay, and well, personally, that's why you're here. Well, do you have any impersonal knowledge that I committed any of these alleged misdemeanors?
No.
Judges at different times?
Please, sir, please don't make speaking objections. It's unethical.
I'm asking you if that's included in the
Please
hypothetical.
please don't interrupt a deposition, Mr. Foley.
It's an incomplete question.
Isn't it past your cocktail hour? It's 2:30.
Could be getting close.
Well, yeah, I know, and I refer to you on the internet as a drunken criminal. Is that true?
I don't know. What are you?
Are you a drunken criminal, Kenny?
You have been subject to 2 separate civil
Right.
harassment restraining
And you're a
orders by 2
liar, and I
different
passed the
judges.
polygraph, Mr. Foley. They are
Yes,
accurate,
yes.
Mr. Foley. You're dirty, and this case is dirty, and you know it.
Hey guys, this is a deposition from an El Dorado, California deputy, Marcus Devani, from 2015. The person conducting the deposition is Brian Smith, who was facing multiple misdemeanor charges that the DA decided to pursue based on this deputy's report. Throughout the deposition, the accused gets the deputy to admit that he worded his report as if he had first-hand knowledge of the incidents, but that he indeed had no knowledge or evidence of anything he submitted to the DA. The deputy even admits during the deposition that exculpatory evidence existed before his report was written that would have exonerated the accused, but that he failed to include that in his report. During the deposition, he also has the nerve to claim that his time is being wasted. This report was a direct cause of the arrest and loss of liberty of the accused Brian Smith. But this deputy, like so many others, takes this very lightly and sees his victim's loss of liberty as no big deal. Just another day at the office.
Do you solemnly state under penalty of perjury that the evidence you shall give in this issue or matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Deputy Devaney, in January of 2012, did you conduct an investigation in Calaveras County, California, of alleged hang-up calls to Michelle Carr Bridges?
Yes, I did. So you're asking me if what I wrote in this report is true and accurate?
Yes.
Yes, yes, it is.
Okay. And so you could say safely that you didn't write any false information about me or my activities or whereabouts?
No, sir. The phone trap revealed the phone numbers from which the annoying phone calls are being made from belong to S. Brian Smith.
And that means suspect Smith.
Correct.
Okay, and you stand by that statement, sir?
Yes, sir.
Could you please look at this document? These are the AT&T faxes and letters that you refer to in your report. Okay, well, the phone company, in other words, is telling you in clear, simple language that they don't know who made the prank calls, correct?
That's assumed, yes.
It's assumed, okay. Well, and if you could please take a look at this copy of my telephone bill. Do those numbers correspond? Okay, and the exhibits I've handed you, you admitted to indicate that the numbers do not belong to me. Okay. Well, in a nutshell, did you send false information to the district attorney?
No.
You didn't. So you think you think the AT&T is wrong?
This is obviously a separate investigation, but my initial report, when I write it true and correct.
So you're saying the phone numbers do belong to me, or they do not belong to me?
In my original report, I did state that they do belong to you, and in Exhibit 3, they show that they're unidentified or unknown subscriber from AT&T.
So that was false information you provided?
At the time, no.
At the time, no. Well, sir, didn't you represent yourself as having information that you alleged to be true, my telephone numbers, which you did not know to be true?
Again, as it reads in 2012, the phone numbers that I was given were known to be attached to you at that time.
Known by whom?
These were from the victims.
Well, yes, I know the victims said it was my phone, and I'm saying that they're not telling the truth, and I'm asking why you reported falsely to the DA that these numbers belong to me.
I don't report false information, sir.
So you're saying the AT&T is incorrect. Getting back to your report, what color is my house in San Francisco?
I do not know.
Where is it located?
I have no idea.
No idea. Would you refer, please, to paragraph 3 and read the last sentence? Smith frequents.
The Bay Area where he has another home.
Well, did you write that?
I did.
Well, is it true? The next to the last paragraph. Well, if you consider the last sentence a paragraph. Michelle told me that nothing is ever said on the phone. Well, there you make a difference. You say, Michelle told you this, correct?
Correct.
And that's differentiated from the fact that you don't say that in the previous statements in the same report. Is that correct?
I don't start my sentence with Michelle told me, correct.
My question is, did you say in a declarative way that Smith frequents the Bay Area where he has another home?
Yes.
You didn't say the alleged victims claim that Mr. Smith frequents the Bay Area where he has another home, did you?
It's assumed in this report because that's the style that we write in.
Oh, I don't think it is. Who assumes that?
Now you're arguing with him again.
Who assumes that?
I assume that then.
Oh, you assume it. Well, do you think the DA assumes it? Well, why do you think the alleged victims claimed I have a house in the Bay Area that I frequent?
That's what they stated.
But and I'm asking you, in your experience as an officer, why do you think they'd say something like that?
I have no idea, sir.
You have no idea, and yet you made that statement.
Correct.
Well, do you think it was to make me appear that I had the financial means to engage in sophisticated harassment? Do you think that could have been it?
I have no idea.
Okay, well, do you think they might have said that because they searched my name on the internet and came up with just a name like Smith and put that in there?
I can't assume that.
So you have no idea why they say that?
No, sir.
You think they could have been lying?
It's possible.
What do you think is likely?
Anything's possible.
Well, it says Christopher Hewitt, Sergeant Hewitt approved the report. What does that mean exactly?
That means that my capacity at this point was a deputy. I took the report. Once I've completed the report, I submit it for review, and the sergeant will review the report and then approve it and sign his name at the bottom.
He'll review the report, so he'll read it.
Yes, sir.
And how is it that, do you think, that he was unable to see these AT&T communications reflecting the fact that they don't know who made the calls?
I can't assume that.
You can't assume it? You
I'm not Sergeant Hewitt, sir.
Uh-huh. Well, what's his usually, well, does he usually make up stuff? Do you think?
I don't know what you're talking about making up.
Well, it's not my house, it's not my telephone numbers.
Two judges at different times.
Please, sir, please don't make speaking objections, it's unethical.
I'm asking you if that's included in the
Please don't
hypothetical.
please don't interrupt a deposition, Mr. Foley.
It's an incomplete question.
Isn't it past your cocktail hour? It's 2:30.
Could to be getting close.
Well, yeah, I know, and I refer to you on the internet as a drunken criminal. Is that true?
I don't know, what are you?
Are you a drunken criminal, Kenny?
You have been subject to 2 separate civil
Right.
harassment restraining.
And
orders
you're a
by 2
liar, and I
different
passed the
judges.
polygraph, Mr. Foley. They are
How
accurate,
fast?
Mr. Foley. You're dirty, and this case is dirty, and you know it. Well,
Certainly hope.
are you tested? Would you state under oath that this is a clean case? Answer the question. Is this a clean case?
So as
Well,
Jack
would you please
Nicholson
stop
said
interrupting, Mr.
in
Foley?
A Few Good Men,
Please stop making speaking objections. Well, you're right. Smith has not been able to be questioned regarding this case.
Correct.
And what does that mean exactly?
That means that I have not been able to contact you in regards to your statement related to this report that I took.
Well, in the course and scope of your daily activities as a deputy sheriff, do you have access to a pencil?
Yes.
Do you have access to a telephone?
Yes.
You know I live in a rural area. Could you have left a note on my gate?
I have never been to your house, sir.
Well, wouldn't my address be on the paperwork?
It would.
Well, sir, now you know that the telephone company says they don't know who belonged to those phone numbers, right? You
As
know-
of, I believe, December 2nd, 2011, at 2:30, yes.
A month before you wrote your report.
Okay.
Could you not have easily acquired my telephone number to call me?
I could have, but the numbers I was provided is what I attempt.
Right, and so you didn't. You could have, but you didn't.
These were the numbers I was provided, and these were the numbers that I attempted calls to.
Right, so could you answer my question? You could have, but you didn't.
If I was given the phone number, correct, yes.
It's
Just make sure that you're not asking me leading questions as well.
Well, please don't give me advice, if you don't mind. You're testifying that you did not ask them for my telephone number so that you could call me.
I don't recall the exact conversation that this report was generated from, no.
So when you say that Mr. Smith has not been able to be questioned, would you call that a true statement?
Yes,
Even though you decided not to pursue the matter?
you're asking me a question based on asking if I had spoke to you in this matter at this time, and I did not.
Well, sir, you go on to say there's no further leads regarding his location in Calaveras County besides his address. Is that correct?
Correct.
So what does that mean exactly? You know where I live. You can get a hold of my telephone number. So what, did you think I was flying around in a Learjet?
At this time, I was not provided an address, and that's exactly what I stated.
Well, sir, my address would be on the documents connected with the case, wouldn't they?
I would assume they would.
You mentioned that there's a restraining order granted. It would be on that as well, wouldn't it?
Correct.
And you say in your report that you're including that, you had access to that in the report that you sent to the DA's office, correct?
Correct.
Well, sir, you don't think that the way you wrote that you sent to the DA, no further leads, isn't that just a fancy way of saying we're too busy to do an investigation?
That is my way of saying that I've investigated this as far as I could at the time, and there's no further leads.
Doesn't it seem no further leads regarding his location? It sounds like you're in an international manhunt. It sounds like a dramatic way of saying that, you didn't want to leave a note at my gate or telephone me. Would you agree with that?
Not completely, no.
Not completely, okay, but partially. In general, sir, would you say it's best to talk to the accused man before you have him arrested when there are no witnesses to the alleged misdemeanor?
If it's possible, yes.
And you're not saying that in this case it was impossible, you're just saying you didn't do it. Is that correct?
Correct. In this report, I did not.
Fortunately,
No, I understand that,
Right.
but if you're suggesting that you're going to waste my time continuously, then at some point I do have to leave today.
Well, sir, I'm not wasting your time. You realize I was arrested and I'm being prosecuted,
I understand
don't you?
that.
Well, do you think I have a legitimate interest to ask you why you wrote all this stuff?
You do, but what Mr. Foley's alleging is what I feel that you're doing, is you're asking me questions that I can't honestly answer because I have no personal knowledge of them. So in my opinion, you're
And
wasting
you
my
have
time.
you have no personal knowledge
Right.
because you didn't conduct a thorough
You're
investigation.
asking me,
Have you received any instruction or training with regard to writing incident reports?
yes.
Where did you receive this instruction?
Where?
Where, yes.
In the academy and in on-the-job training.
Well, you were instructed on the importance of writing a true and accurate report, correct?
Correct.
And you think it's especially important to write a complete and accurate report when the accused man could face years in prison?
Yes, sir.
Are you aware that the district attorney and judges use police reports in order to establish probable cause to file criminal complaints?
Yes.
And judges use police reports to issue search warrants and restraining
Okay,
orders?
what does this have
Yes.
to do?
Sir, these are valid questions, and if
For what
you're going to
purpose?
make speaking objections, go off the record. Mr. Foley, these are classic questions in any evidence course, and you should know that.
How would you know?
Well, would you score on your boards?
I'm an attorney.
What did you score on your boards?
About 540.
Oh, gee, it shows, it figures. Should a true and accurate report include exculpatory evidence? In other words, evidence that tends to clear the accused man of wrongdoing.
Yes.
Plate glass window of her office was broken. So she's accusing me of that, correct? Or she wouldn't have included it in her.
Oh, it's not highlighted in my
Oh.
copy, but yes, I see where that's written.
Okay. So you see where she's accused me of that.
I believe that's just a statement of fact that a plate glass window was broken at their office.
Right, but she would not have included this if she did not think I was responsible, correct?
Correct.
Okay, then it goes on, the next paragraph, also in 2008, her window was broken again. Do you have any evidence that I did that?
I don't know.
And so, in other words, you have no evidence of that?
No.
And then in 2009, a brick was thrown through the front windshield of the Bridges' car. Do you see that, sir?
I do?
And do you have any evidence that I would do that?
No.
Then if you could please look at, well, does it seem like she's basically included everything that's she's had to endure through the years, every problem she's had?
I assume so. Yes, this is pretty extensive.
Are you aware that she's been through almost 30 lawsuits during this period?
No.
Do you think someone whom she evicted or with whom she's had a lawsuit would be angry enough to break her windows?
It's possible.
And they could be suspects,
Correct.
in caps. She claims that I'm violating Penal Code Section 646-9, Section 422 of the Penal Code, and a section of federal statutes, which doesn't apply in this case anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see that, sir?
I do.
Well, 646-9 is
Stalking.
stalking statute. And again, do you have any evidence of that?
No.
Criminal threat statute is 422.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any evidence that I made criminal threats?
I do not.
Okay, well, do you think that Mrs. Bridges was acting reasonably and in good faith when she executed the citizen's arrest document?
Yes.
But you have no evidence, isn't that correct, that I did any of the things that Bridges claim I did? Is that true?
Personally, no.
Okay, and well, personally, that's why you're here. Well, do you have any impersonal knowledge that I committed any of these alleged misdemeanors?
No.